Beta to Boss with Chase Harmer. Growth, scale, success.
Welcome to Beta to Boss and our elite group of hustlers that are building businesses all over the country and working hard to get that massive book of business. Now, building portfolios is my shit, and acquiring customers is what I do and what I'm all about, which leads to residual opportunities and monthly subscriptions. And since we're launching our own business opportunity in March, I thought it would only be great to introduce one of the top marketers in the world, Romacio Fulcher. Is it Fulcher or Fletcher? Fulcher?
It's Romacio Fulcher.
Romacio Fulcher. Romacio was a self-made millionaire by 25 and transitioned into the network marketing industry and made $2.3 million his first year. And is on a mission to help others do the same. So, Romacio, thank you for coming on the show with us today, buddy.
Absolutely, man. My pleasure. Congratulations to everything you got going on and what you're achieving here by giving back to your listeners, man. Awesome. Good stuff.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. Well, you're the star of the show today, and I want you to tell me a little bit about your background and how you were able to grow teams to earn this massive amounts of revenue that you've been able to generate. Tell me a little bit about you.
It's really simple, man. It's really simple. I'm probably the simplest guest that you will ever find. And it's funny, when you really peel back the layers of success, it gets back to the basics, the simplicity. People that are very complicated and try and sound real big and bad oftentimes can't measure up to the way that they sound. Rather, my style is to be very, very simple to where everyone that's listening can find tremendous value in what it is that they're about to hear. So when you really peel my layers back, I come from Oakland, California. Mom and dad still together, very strict parents. I've got 4 brothers, and my family structure was really solid. And so when I say solid, we don't come from money at all. Nobody had any money.
Sure.
But my parents, boy, they just don't play no games. They don't play. When they speak, you listen, and what they say do, you better do, or you'll find yourself missing, and they'll replace you with another one, right? So that's my family structure. So needless to say, I went off to go to college in Sacramento. Sac State. I dropped out of college after a year. Wasn't really my cup of tea. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew that I was going to be successful. I told my mom and dad that, hey, listen, I promise you I will be successful. I'll make you proud. And so for me, when you start looking at what success is all about, it's really simple, man. You find a mentor, someone that's an expert at what they're doing. It's kind of funny. We've all said before, I wish I would have known then what it is that I know now. Well, the difference between then and now is one word: wisdom. And wisdom comes in 2 forms: your own personal mistakes, and number 2, from mentors. And so the fast track up the mountain is always to learn from someone that is an expert in their particular field. Sure. And so many people often say, well, how do I find an expert? Really simple. It's called Google. All you do is log online.
A special tool called Google.
Absolutely. You log online, and all you do is you just, you Google the top 10, 20 people in their particular profession. So whatever it is you want to do, if you want to be a cupcake maker, if you want to be a fitness guy, a financial guy, pastor, whatever you want to do, you just Google the top 20. And here's what you do. When you get them on the phone, you ask one question: what would I have to do to make it worth your while to teach me what it is you know? What would I have to do to make it worth your while to teach me what you know? And the reason for that is, just because you find a mentor, that's great. Always remember, the mentor is not obligated to you. You got to pursue them. It's not the other way around. Sure. You pursue them.
You started, wait, hold on. So just back up just 1 second, right? So you started in the real estate business, and you started in the real estate business. You made some money there. You made some residual income opportunities, but you got into network marketing. Now, network marketing, why network marketing, first of all?
Well, that's kind of the path where I was taking you down, just so that everybody can see the connection that what I say is actually what I do versus most speakers. They preach one thing and they do something different. So for me, I dropped out of college and I found a mentor in mortgage and real estate who hired me as his assistant. I was on all commissions, and I always tell people that my mentor who hired me, he was white. Obviously, you can see I'm black, and I tell people this for this reason: the very thing you're looking for may not look like you, sound like you, and it damn sure don't think like you. So don't be afraid of the difference. Embrace it, right? So that was the mentor I met. He taught me everything I knew. Next thing you know, by the time I was 25, I had become a millionaire several times over in the mortgage and real estate industry, okay? And then I spent about 13 years there owning my own firms, and it was pretty cool, man. As they say, I started at the bottom, now we here. right? So it was cool. And then about 10 years ago, a wealthy friend of mine, he's very wealthy. He called me up, and he's the guy who introduced me to someone in network marketing. And I remember when he first called me, I was very negative. I laughed at him. I said, hell no, there's no way I'd ever want to do nothing like that, because that's a scam. Those things are illegal.
It's a scam. Yeah, it's illegal. It's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And that's what I said. And he said, shut up. You sound stupid. You sound ignorant. And he said, by the way, when you finally make more money than me, you can laugh at an invitation I give you. Until then, shut up and get on over to my house. You might learn something. And nobody talks to me like that. I'm a pretty, let's just say I'm a man's type of man. So you don't talk crazy to me. Maybe your cousin, but not me, right? And so, but when you're worth a lot more money than me, I kind of felt like, man, maybe I need to check myself and really listen in. And I did. And I went to his house, and that's when I was blown away. The guy that was giving the speech and all that he was totally like nothing I ever expected. I thought he was going to have.
What was the opportunity?
It was a functional juice beverage. It was back when the juice game was real hot, you know, and the acai berry, all that type of stuff, you know. And so,
right.
But the product wasn't really what I was concerned about. All I wanted to know is that the product was real and it was legal. It was the business model that I really had apprehension of, right?
Right.
I thought things like you had to be in early to make all the money. I thought things like only the guys at the top make all the money. I thought things like you have to be a good salesman and you got to be a good speaker and you got to be well connected. All of this crap that I thought turns out not to be true. But see, this is where I had this negative taste of network marketing in my mouth. And that's why when people in the past would approach me with it, I'm thinking to myself, I would never follow you to the bathroom, let alone do a business with you, right? So my point was, all of these guys were always telling me about what they were gonna do. They were telling me what they were gonna make, and that just doesn't work for me. I come from Oakland, man. You got to have it or move on, right? So anyway, but this guy was different. He was very poised. He was calm. He was collected. You know, he wasn't salesman like. He wasn't.
Okay, so you're selling some berries back then, right? But now, but you obviously turned it into a real money making opportunity for you, right? And I think that's where people are like, okay, well, how did he do that, right? Well, what are the key components of doing something like that and turning that opportunity that you were granted into a money making?
The key component is exactly what I'm discussing right now. It's making sure you have the right mentor. See, let me explain something. Let's just go back and then we'll go forward real quick. If we crack open the Bible, what we find is every prophet there all had a mentor. And so the point is this, even in your life right now, I always tell people you got to have the right mentor, because see, here's the deal. Products don't move people. It's people that move products. And so if you concentrate on how to move the berry or the travel or whatever the hell it is you're selling, you're missing the point. The main point is you want to concentrate on who's my mentor, and you want to learn their philosophies on how you make the stuff move. And that's why there needs to be a greater emphasis on you finding the right person as opposed to you finding the right product.
Well, so are you saying that you can't be successful without a mentor? Because that's not true.
Well, let's I'm never going to say that you can't do anything. You don't hear me mention the word can't very often. But what I will tell you, it depends upon how big you want your success to be. And even if you don't have a mentor, all it simply means is you just going to bang your head against the wall a lot until you finally figure it out. The problem between me and others, I don't have that type of time. You go do all the banging, and when you're done, you call me and tell me exactly what the shortest way up the hill is. I'm not the guy to go off in the woods to figure it out. That's not my style. It's easier for me to find a guy that's a mentor or a guy that's an expert, let him teach me how to do it, and now I actually move up the hill much faster than him. And so where I come from, Chase, is I come from any and everything I do is always I have a mentor. I have a spiritual mentor, a business mentor, saving money mentor, you name it. I don't even work out in the gym without a mentor. I always have a coach. So for me, this is my bravado. This is what I do. It's what I represent. And so when you look at network marketing, I didn't care about the products. All I care about is your product legal? Is it moral? Is it ethical? But tell me, how do you make it move? How do you really build this huge army with $100 a month overhead? That's what I want to learn, right? And so, and that's what I was attracted to. And so I got involved, and he began to teach me how it worked. And the thing I liked best, man, is that he always told me the truth. And the truth is, it is hard work. You know, the truth is you do it on a part-time basis. And the truth is there is no guarantees. And so when I got started, I literally made $55,000 the first 45 days working from home part-time.
How did you do that?
And the way that I did it, and great question, the way you do it is the number one thing you're going to do when you get involved in network marketing is you're just going to introduce your network of people to the person you're working with. In other words, my job in the beginning, it's the same as I teach everybody else. My job in the beginning is to simply introduce my people to the gentleman that I was working with. That's it. I didn't have to do any of the presentations. I didn't have to answer questions. I was too young. I didn't know anything.
Sure.
But what I did have is a network of people, whether that was 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever. That's the new person's job. Now, the key is, listen, this is the key. If you join with the right person, someone that knows what they're doing and they really are succeeding, it makes it very easy when you introduce your contacts to that individual. If you don't join with somebody that knows what they're doing, then it's going to be a whole lot harder for you. You're going to have to bang your head on the wall for many years or whatever. And this is where most people quit because it's too difficult to figure out because they don't know what they're doing. Right. That's why for me, the shortcut in anything I do is always find that mentor.
That makes a lot of sense, right? That makes a lot of sense. And I can see why people would want to reciprocate what you're doing. And, you know, but if there was 3 main things that we could focus on for, you know, people, not just building in an MLM business, but building a business in general, the concepts are really similar, right? If you're going after consumers or B2B, those philosophies are different, but essentially you're going after consumers. A lot of other people are going after consumers. What are the biggest elements that you have to put together that allow you to grow a team that you did? You grew a team to what, 40,000 people, something like that? I mean, that's pretty incredible. So like, what are like the biggest things that helped you get to that type of level?
Okay,
like,
so
not the whole mentor thing, but like what specific things allowed you like to get to like a $40,000 type of following? I mean,
yeah, no, and I'll tell you, but hold on, I'm gonna stand even firmer on what I just said because it's how my life and it's how I do it. There is no elimination of the mentor. I'm standing right here in LA doing this podcast, and right next to me is the gentleman who introduced me. Now check this out so that you can really get a clear grasp of what I'm really saying. I've been in this company 13 months. I started from scratch all by myself. The gentleman standing next to me, he's been in this company 16 months. Both of us, 13 months ago, I was broke, and 16 months ago, he was broke. I joined this company because 90 days into it, here's a gentleman that I know, he's now earning $250,000 a month. Now, your question is going to be, okay, wait a minute. Again, how did he do that? Once again, if we go up the ladder one more step, the person who brought him into the business was already at $500,000 a month within 6 months. And so, hold on a second. So now, this gentleman that I'm standing next to over the last 12 months, he's made $5.9 million from home in this business. This is all documented. Myself, I've done 2.4. So my point is, when you ask me how I did it, the first thing I want to say is you got to have the right mentor, because the second thing I'm about to say is all I basically did is replicate exactly what they tell you to do. So now let's move ahead to the second part of the question, which is what specifically do you do to get that type of following? The first thing, you've got to have a burning desire. Number one, if you don't have a burning desire, to your point, Chase, you won't win in nothing. That's true. Number two, it all comes down now to strategy. You got to have the right strategy. So when you talk about building an organization, whether it's network marketing or any organization, the most important part of any building is the foundation. So this is the thing you must lay first. In network marketing, 1 out of every 4 people that you enroll are going to move ahead. This is where most people don't even know what I just told you. They just think if I enroll a couple people, they're going to be here 2 years from now. Hogwash. They won't. 1 out of every 4 is going to do it. So your foundation that you're going to build it all depends upon what type of income you want to create. For me, obviously, I was trying to go to the top. And so literally I introduced 50 people to the program the first week. Now, most people don't even introduce 50 people in the first 3-4 years, let alone the first week. So this is a part of that strategy. So I introduced 50 people the first week. And what that did for me is my first month, I went on to make $100,000 the first month. 6 months in, I'm at $1 million. But again, when you look at that, the most important part is I introduced 50 people the first week. And remember, 1 out of every 4 of those 50 are going to move ahead and move forward. So now I had a nice little group of lieutenants, if you will, that really wanted to make money and participate in the program. And that gave us enough wind power to create the traction that we needed with our system to be able to get to millions of dollars of sales really quickly.
Okay, so you got the strategy. So it's just the role model and the strategy? That's it?
It's the role model, number one. The mentor first, number one. Number one is the desire. Number two is the mentor. Number three, you got to be involved at the right time. I don't care who you are, where you are. None of that matters to me. Timing, 90% of success comes down to timing. And so your timing has got to be perfect. Fortunately, for all of those listening to this podcast right now, the timing for everyone that's hearing my voice is perfect. Because even though the company we partnered with is 6 years old, the product that we're making all this money with, which is a wearable device, it's like an Apple Watch on steroids, it's only been out for 14 months. And so literally, it's a global company. It's a new conversation. It's the first wearable in the world to monitor your vital signs and allow people to monitor their blood sugar levels non-invasively. So we've got a conversation that nobody's got, which is, again, why the organization is just growing so fast. So again,
why this product and why now?
Good question. Okay. This all backs up to number one, which is when you have a burning desire, you have to be very clear and specific on what you want. For me, I told you 13 months ago, I was broke. I was broke, but not broken. Meaning I was broke financially, but I wasn't broke internally in the sense of I knew I was going to find the right thing. And I had the courage and the balls to go ahead and pull the trigger on it when I did. Now, there were probably about 40 companies that I said no to, Chase, because they just didn't fit what I was looking for. So let's talk about that. What I was looking for was something that was relevant. So you got to take your ego off the table. And you got to understand if your product or service is not relevant, I don't care what it is, nobody's going to jump up and down for it. Okay, so relevancy is key. Number two, I wanted something that was global. Today, the world is flat. I got people all around the world that want to dance with me. So you got to have something global. Number three, I wanted something that I can really build a real, sustainable residual income from customers' loyalty to the product, because distributors will come and go. Remember, 1 out of every 4 only stick. Okay, so these were the things that I was basically looking for, a story, Chase, that had never been told before. Something that when I beat that drum, everybody goes, oh, I ain't never heard that beat before. That's kind of what we were looking for. And so when you look at wearable technology, which, by the way, Chase, I knew nothing about wearable tech prior to 12 months ago. I'm not a Fitbit, Apple Watch person at all. I'm not into that stuff. But you know what? The whole world is. When you look at wearable tech right now, it's the hottest trend in technology history today. That's a fact. And it's only growing and growing and growing. And so when we saw what our company was offering, we were the first. We're the first ones in the world to produce a wearable device that does stuff that Fitbit and Apple Watch don't do. We're mainly focusing on health, which is a huge niche when you talk about life sensing technology, where it monitors every single vital sign you have, including now your blood sugar levels non-invasively. If you understand how huge of a conversation that is, you could drop the gavel and hang up the phone. Everybody comes running to the yard. It's that big. I mean, blood sugar, that's crazy. So anyway, we knew that this was going to be big. But to have the right product is great. The most important thing, which leads me to number 4, Chase, you got to have the right system. Tell me about the system, because the only difference between me and the average worker bee that works a job or business is that I have more leverage than them. So to get that leverage, Chase, it comes down to your system. And we have a system where we send text messages. We do not do home meetings. Our system is you send a 2-minute video, then a 7-minute text message, then a 30-minute video through text. And it's that replication of that system that anybody, Becky, Mary, Johnny, they all can do this in the grocery store. And that's what we've done, and that's how it's grown so fast.
Is that kind of the key component to you helping your people obviously attract more customers and get people to sign up, is to actually through these videos and these funnels that you got?
Absolutely. It's a very simple.
So what type of system are you utilizing to control all of these people? To have 40,000 people in an actual organization, how do you control it? How do you keep tabs on all that?
Great question. Everything is all about leadership. That's why I wouldn't move away from that when we began to talk moments ago. So when you ask me, I have a team of 46,000. That's true. Do I know all 46,000 of people? Hell no. Here's the deal. I have literally about 30 leaders that are responsible for over 40-something thousand people. And now over in 2018, it's going to triple to about 120,000 because I'm helping right now 75 different people earn 10 grand a week, which is the reason why I'm here on your podcast. And so it's all based upon leadership development. As I develop people, so let's just say Bob came into the camp. Bob said, hey, yeah, I want to make more money. Absolutely. What we do, the first concentration point is we get Bob to $2,500 a week. Last year, I helped personally, myself, 500 different people get to $2,500 a week in income. 500 different people. I also helped over 7 people make $1 million in the last 12 months. This is all documented. Again, this is how I've gotten to the income that I've gotten to, by helping others. And so the first thing we do, Chase, level 1, we help the new person. I don't care if you tell me you want to be a billionaire. The first thing we do is we help you get to $2,500 a week, because you'll never get to bigger money than that unless you first start at $2,500 a week. So once we get you, okay, great. There's 3 numbers that are the most important numbers of building a network marketing organization. The first number is the number $500 a week, or $500 a month, excuse me, $500 a month. Why? Because when you go all the way back 100 years old, when network marketing started by Amway and all these guys, it was started by truck drivers. And these were people that they created this way of distribution designed for the average Joe to make an extra $500 a month. It's very important. I'm going to bring this together for you in just a sec. The second most important number is $2,500 a month. Now let's back up. To get to $500 a month, all you typically have to do is, in most companies, is build a team of usually about 30 to 50 people, and you got $500 a month. Our program is a lot different. To make $500 a week in our program, it really requires a team of 6 people. We pay out a whole lot more here.
Gotcha.
So six people, and the person's at $500 a month, or $500 a week. Excuse me. 500. Now, now watch this. If you help, typically, if you help 4 to 5 people make $500 a month, generally speaking, that will take you to $2,500 a month. Okay.
How does it generally take you to 25?
When you look at the whole industry of network marketing, when you average out all the compensation plans on how they work, right, the way it typically works is when you help one person get to $500 a month, if you multiply that 4 to 5 times, that usually takes you to about $2,500 a month. Okay. Gotcha. Our program, we pay weekly. So let's just get off of this month stuff. Let's get to week. So to make $500 a week in our program is 6 people. Watch this now. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get you to $2,500 a week, which is what we call the 10K a month program, right? $2,500 a week times 4 weeks. The way we do that, all you do is help 6 people make $500 in a week.
Okay.
So basically, it's a team of 36 people, and you're now at $2,500 a week.
Okay, now you got 25. Now what?
Okay, now to go from $2,500 a week to 10 grand a week, all you do now is help 6 people make $2,500 a week.
Okay.
Now you're at 10 grand. Now you're at 10 grand a week. Now, if a person says, "Hey, Romacio, how do I get to 100 grand a month?" It's really simple. All you do is help 10 people make $2,500 a week, and you're at $25,000 a week.
Okay.
So in other words, there's a system, there's a method to everything that we do. It's all systematized, and that's the reason why it's growing so fast.
Why does weekly? You there?
Uh-oh.
All right.
Sorry,
I'm here. Is weekly more attractive than monthly? To people get involved. Do you think?
It is, because obviously people love. Obviously, which one would you want? Would you want $2,500 a month or a week?
No, I mean, you guys have certainly run tests on that. I'm sure. And do you see that works better? Obviously.
Oh, absolutely. The whole weekly system is just it's crazy, because when you're in a month. Look, I don't want to get too complicated here, but when you're in a monthly program, typically what happens when you have a month to qualify, right? 30 days to qualify. What generally happens, Chase, is most people drag their feet for the first 3 weeks of the month.
Sure.
And then the last week of the month, that's when they kill it, because they're trying to maintain those qualifications to get that bonus.
Why don't you just do like a 30 to 45 or 60 day? Why didn't you do that? Do you think they'll just wait the 6 weeks and then do it?
Yeah. You don't want to do that. It's just understanding the behavioral patterns of people. The weekly program is absolutely sickening. It's crazy, because really, it's like every week you've got different people that are running and gunning, and it just makes sense to go from monthly to weekly. And I'm glad that I'm glad that we did that.
What are you guys seeing? Right, when you guys you have the system that people are getting involved with you, right? Have created, and when are you seeing most people opt into the program? Is the third or fourth contact, or how long? What is the ratios on that? What do you think?
Okay, I'm gonna give you two answers. Generally speaking, in network marketing as a whole, the sales cycle typically is about 4 to 6 touches, 4 to 6 exposures they get involved. Our company, the answer is 2.
Is that because of wearable, relevant? What is it?
Yes, you hit it on the head. It's because it's so relevant. And that's why I wanted something relevant so I didn't have to work hard to sell it. I don't got to really do much. They see a 2-minute video and they go, oh, wow, I want that product. I'm interested. Boom, press the buy now button. Company ships you the product, sends you the commission. Simple. It's just really simple. That's the point of, that's why I said when you asked me the recipe for success, and I said, number 1, find the right mentor. Number 2, the right time. Well, most people, Chase, they don't know how to spot timing, man. They don't. But right. You know what? It's easy. But the mentor does. The mentor does. They're good at that. That's why if you find the mentor first, automatically they will educate you about how you spot timing. And then after timing, then it comes to the strategy. Then number 4 is you got to work hard. Number 5 is the system.
What are the 3 most common objections that you would get from people talking about network marketing? What are the 3 most common objections?
The most common one is I don't have time. That's where I was 10 years ago. The second to that would be, maybe I don't have money. The third one would be, I'm not a salesperson.
Right.
Okay. Those.
What do you do to combat those? What do you do to actually refute those?
Very interesting that you asked that question. What I don't do is I'll tell you what I teach. And I teach people to build strong businesses from a strong philosophy. I don't teach weak leadership. So I don't have that type of mentality at all. And so, for example, if you said, what do I do to combat? So this is where I don't mean that.
Refute that. Ultimately, there's people that want to get involved in network marketing, but they have their own internal bullshit that's going on in their head that's preventing them from doing that. So
here's how this works. So let's just give you a live example, and I want you to bring up those 3 things you just said. So here we go. I meet Chase. Hey, Chase. Excuse me. I just had some ice cream. so I meet Chase, and we're talking, and Chase is telling me that definitely he's open to making more money. So we sit down, or we're on the phone. And the first thing I'm going to say to Chase is, Chase, listen, tell me, what is it that's got you looking? What's got you open? What is it that's missing from your life right now that you currently don't have? And Chase is going to say, well, hell, I'd like to make more money, blah, blah, blah. All right. So then I'm going to say, Chase, listen, if I could show you a system, something that's simple, something that's real, something that you could see yourself doing that would allow you to make more money, would there be anything that would, stop you from taking the next step?
Well, I'm not really a sales guy.
What's that?
I'm not really a sales guy. I don't know if I can get people to.
Okay. Not a problem. Chase, is there anything else that would stop you?
The other 2 things that you mentioned, I can't talk them off the top of my head.
So money and time, right?
Money and time.
Okay.
Money, time.
So let me get this straight, Chase. So basically, the only thing that will stop you from moving ahead would be the money. Number 1, right?
Yeah, totally.
Number 2 would be you don't have time.
No, I don't have any time.
And then number 3 is that, you're not a salespeople. You're not sure if you can get people.
Don't know how to sell.
Okay, great. So then here's my final question. If I could show you that those 3 things, that if those were the only 3 things that were stopping you, if we could show you that there was a way around those 3 things, is that something you want to hear, or should I save my breath?
No, I'm open to hearing that. What you got?
Okay. So if you're open to hearing it, and if you can see yourself getting on the other side of these 3 things, are you ready to put your dancing shoes on and move ahead?
Sure.
Or do you want to stay where you're at?
No, I definitely want to move ahead.
All right, great. So here's the first one. When we talk about, let's talk about time first, real quickly. Chase, the reason why you don't have any time is because what you do right now, it requires you to do it. Am I right or am I wrong?
Totally.
Okay, great. What if I told you if you had someone like me working on your behalf, could you see how we'd be a great team? In other words, you set them up, I knock them down. How's that sound?
So you're closing for me.
I don't like the term closing because I don't close adults. It's not what I do. But I am your partner, and if you play your role, we'll have a successful partnership.
Okay.
So
sure.
Again, so the question stands again: if you actually could have someone like me at your disposal. You're at work doing your thing. Meanwhile, I'm over here talking to your prospects, explaining the concept, blah, blah, blah for you. How does that sound to you?
Sounds great.
So can we say now that we've now eliminated the issue of time, because now you have a partner who's very successful who will work in your benefit and you get paid? You cool with that?
Yeah, sure.
So do me a favor, cross off time off the list so we don't have to come back to that, okay?
Okay, it's crossed off.
All right, next. Now let's go to the next thing about you talking about you got to get people. Now I got to be honest with you, Chase. This one here, there's no rabbit I'm going to be able to snatch out a hat. So let me explain how this is going to work. If I asked you right now to make a list of the 10 most successful people that you know, where I don't care who they are, could you at least put 10 people down on a piece of paper?
Sure.
Okay, great. Secondly, if I asked you to send a text message that I've already typed up for you, and I know exactly what it's going to say, could you send that text message to them?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay, great. That's all I want you to do right now.
Cool.
Okay. So in terms of talking to the people, you're not going to do that. All I want you to do is send them this text message. Now, this text message, Chase, just so that you full disclosure, it's already laced the way we need it to be laced. It already has in it what we need to have in it, blah, blah, blah. And when any man, and when any man or woman sees it, they're all intrigued and want to come to the yard. Does that make sense?
Got you. Absolutely.
Okay. So let's go ahead and let's scratch off the list this whole, you got to get all of these people. Let's just scratch that off, okay?
Got it. Scratched off.
All right, let's go to the third one now. We're talking about this money. All right, now I got to be honest with you. This is a real business, and literally it's going to cost you anywhere between $1,000 to $3,500 to position yourself properly. Now, you say you don't have money. Let me ask you a question, and we're about to end this conversation. Chase, I've been involved in this business. I've made $2.3 million in 12 months, helping a lot of people make money. Chase, I've got a Lamborghini. It's a $400,000 car that I just received 5 months after being involved in this company. The company bought it for me. It's paid for by cash. I own it. I got the title. Chase, I'm willing to give you this car right now for $3,500. Somewhere between $1,000 to $3,500. I'll negotiate with you. But you got to have either $1,000 or $3,500, and I'll give you 48 hours to come up with the money. Can you make it happen?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, tell me why you can make it happen, Chase.
Well, because I know it's worth more money than $3,500.
So where are you going to find the money?
I'll figure it out.
Okay, great. That's the same line I want to hear you say when it comes to working with me. Let me tell you what I mean. Chase, you could not afford to hire me. You couldn't afford me. You couldn't afford me. You couldn't afford to hire me. But for $3,500, you got me at your disposal because of the structure of this program where I'll talk to all your people. So here's the last thing I can tell you. You got to figure it out, and you got 48 hours to figure it out if you want to have me a hired gun in your holster. It's up to you.
I love that, dude. That's great.
So we don't spend a lot of time with that because most of the people that I talk to and deal with, they have $1,000 to get involved. So that's not an issue, but there are a lot of people that,
there's definitely people like that for sure. Right. So there's people,
for
sure. So no, that's great. You did a great job there. I guess, does this work? Have you ever been involved in any like business opportunities outside of the networking marketing industry, or is it mainly just in the network marketing business?
No, I'm a businessman. I own a few other businesses that do pretty well, but they don't cash flow like the network marketing business does.
Sure. So that's the draw. Well, man, it's been awesome. How do people get more involved with, or if they're interested to know more about your program and contact you and want to work with you and want to reach out to Romacio, what do they do? What's the next step?
All you need to do is go to workwithromacio.com. It's a landing page, short little video. Then you can type in your email, your cell phone number, and your name, and I will respond to you, either me or my assistant, within the first 24 to 48 hours. Again, workwithromacio.com. ROMACIO. Once again, ROMACIO. And again, the purpose of us being here is, like I said, we're looking to help 75 people earn 10 grand a week. And so all you got to do is go there, watch the video, type in your info. I'll get right back to you, and we'll have a conversation and go from there.
Romacio, it's been a pleasure, brother. And, man, you got a great thing going on. Respectable stuff, man. 46,000 people downline. That is insane, man. Congrats to you and all your accomplishments. And thank you so much for the wisdom that you shared with our audience today. So, thanks
again, Chase. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
All right, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Beta to Boss podcast. For resources or to leave feedback, visit www.beta2boss.com or www.paycertified.com. If you haven't yet, you can subscribe on iTunes so you don't miss any future episodes. Remember to dream big and act on your dreams.